Just talking about the Clippers. With a dominant win over the Rockets, in the win, Clippers become the first team since the 2001 Lakers to win back-to-back games in a single series by 25 or more points. Sunday's 33-point win is the second largest playoff win in franchise history. Rockets self-imploded with 21 turnovers and employing the hack of Jordan in the first half. We'll get to that a little later on in the second hour of our show. But the Clippers are just one win away from their very first trip to the Western Conference Finals. Stephen A., you talked about the atmosphere there during the commercial break. It was something to behold.
It was electric.
It's a show. So let's talk about the Clippers. How much of a threat are they?
Well, preseason, I picked them to win it. If you remember, I said they were going to the finals, they were going to win it all because, stupidly, my thinking was they acquired Spencer Hawes, and obviously DeAndre Jordan was going to be a liability from the free throw line, and because he was going to be a liability from the free throw line, if you get an additional big to insert into the game who can hit perimeter shots and hit free throws, it will pull big belt folks away from the basket defensively, which would give CP3 more room to operate. Spencer Hawes hasn't panned out. DeAndre Jordan, at least in some sequences, was shooting better than 50% from the free throw line. That was not the case yesterday. When you look at him, 14 to 34 from the free throw line, that's simply horrific. We understand that. It was unwatchable how Kevin McHale and the Houston Rockets inserted, the hack of Jordan philosophy. But I must confess to you, I don't blame them. As awful as it is for the fans to watch, and as much as the NBA needs to do something about it, I don't know what they can do about it because, again, if you can't hit free throws, that's your problem. I don't know if a rule should be changed just because you have an impediment to your game. But I got to tell you, forgive me for shifting gears. That third quarter, there was a sequence when the Clippers had five, I think I counted because I was watching it literally on a plane flying home from Chicago. And for once, I was on a plane that had television. But it was good. It was a beautiful thing. And the game was on. And it was literally five straight occasions where CP3 threw an alley-oop. And, 3 of them was to DeAndre Jordan. One of them was over to Dwight Howard, but not literally because of what Dwight Howard was backing up and all of that stuff. But DeAndre Jordan was literally walking on air and just caught it one hand and just these brothers are a show. I'm talking box office, walk through the turnstiles type show. You don't go to just see the Clippers win basketball games. You go to see a show. And these brothers are putting on a show. The more I'm looking at them, the more I'm believing, Skip, they could literally win the chip. That my preseason prediction may end up being right. But I will tell you this. The Houston Rockets are no barometer for this. They are getting annihilated. They are getting annihilated. Dwight Howard was a no-show yesterday. Picked up 2 early fouls in the first 4 minutes. He was done. Yeah. But he's also done, Skip, because of this reason. I was told that James Harden was really, really ticked off that he didn't get league MVP honors. Oh, boy. And that he was pouting a little bit. He got attitude. He's still upset at me because I remind the world how one of the great players in the game that they didn't show up for the NBA Finals, and damn it, I'm not taking it back. You didn't show up. I don't know what you got this attitude for, but it is what it is. He didn't show up. As skilled as he is, he's big time. James Harden is no scrub. He's big time. But here's the problem. You big time one-on-one dancing on everybody and all of that stuff. That don't work in the postseason against coaches who know how to plan against that for a 7-game series. And as a result, you saw guys standing around watching him, and then when they've been called upon to step up and produce, can't happen. Dwight Howard had 14-10 with 2 blocks in the first half Friday. In the third quarter, they forgot about him. How do you do that? You forgot about him. In the midst of a 23-0 run by the Clippers. Skip, they are walking. They told me before they beat the Spurs, man, we want to win this series so bad because that means we get Houston. We know we could take them. This is what they told me before the series began. And what you are witnessing as we speak is a beat down of it is an annihilation. This series is over. It's all a matter of whether the Clippers want to end it or are they interested in winning it in front of their home fans for Game 6. Houston's done. Houston's done. It's one of those things. Reggie Miller put it best. He sat there and said, Literally, he said, this is a video game.
Yeah.
It's like NBA 2K. This is like a video game. That's how easy it was. It's an annihilation, a romp. It's embarrassing to Harden, to Dwight Howard, to Kevin McHale, to everybody. Houston is just being completely and utterly outclassed to the point where Austin Rivers is talking to James Harden. Literally.
Cooking.
You made so many points. I'm going to have to take them in order here. I'm trying to keep up with them. I'm down to about 12.
Yeah, I saw you jotting. Go on.
Just focus on your points.
Point number one. Your preseason prediction was your preseason prediction. You backed off.
I did.
I'm not going to give it back to you.
I'm not
asking. I'm not asking. Wait, you don't have to. I always acknowledge. That's why I said preseason. I didn't sit there and acknowledge.
Just for the record.
Yes.
He backed way off. He jumped so off the bandwagon. He broke both his ankles when he jumped off the bandwagon.
You can say that.
That's how hard he jumped.
Yeah. You stuck to your convictions and you were wrong.
Okay.
Okay. We both have our methods.
My Spurs would have waltzed through the Rockets.
They would have. They would have
waltzed.
Please, would have been done.
They could have played the second team.
You know what, Skip? I'm not sure. I think it would have been more interesting than this. I think Clippers' athleticism is just too much. Houston looks demoralized. You got to see it, man. They look demoralized. They can't deal with these boys.
By the way, that was a 6-point game at halftime last night. Maybe thanks in part to Haka DeAndre. And in the third quarter alone, the Clippers scored 43 in the third. That's like no mas. That's like we're done. We're done. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're going to fly home safely, right?
Yes.
Okay. So back to your James Harden point. So you're saying his heart hasn't really been in this series because he lost the MVP?
No, I wouldn't say that because he did show up in that first round series against Dallas, even though you learned about the league MVP after that. But I would tell you that what I'm hearing is that he was upset that he didn't get league MVP honors. I would never accuse him of tanking or anything like that.
Most guys would go the other way.
Yes.
They would respond by saying, watch this.
They would respond by saying, watch this. But you need, if you're James Harden, you need Josh Smith to step up. You need Corey Brewer to step up.
McHale wasn't playing
because he
like 14 minutes.
Because he wasn't delivering anything when he got opportunities.
Wow.
So you got Corey Brewer, he's not making shots. You got Josh Smith, he's not making shots. Patrick Beverly is out, he's injured, he's not available to you. And Dwight Howard does not have Omar Sheik. So as a result, you got to remember, with shoes off, Dwight Howard is literally 6'9". So you got DeAndre Jordan having about a legit 3 inches on him. Plus he's a skywalker. Plus he has the assistance of Blake Griffin. And then you got Matt Barnes just getting on everybody's nerves, getting in everybody's head the way that he can.
But he could play.
Yeah, of course he could play. Dwight Howard, it was a bad game. He was awful yesterday. But the flip side to that is, he has no help on the front line. Zero. And against the Clippers, that's the worst team to be in that predicament against.
Before we leave James Harden, I got to give a quick shout out to one player on the Clippers that we don't or we rarely talk about. J.J. Redick has been playing some defense on James Harden, just for the record.
Yes.
And I did not know this young man had it in him. We know he can shoot the lights out, especially when he gets going. But he has been playing some really rough rider defense on James Harden.
I'm a fan of J.J. Redick. I'm a fan of J.J. Redick.
Well,
he can play.
He's playing big for this team.
He can play, and he's playing big.
To your overall question. Something special is going on with the Los Angeles Clippers right now.
Yeah.
And it starts with that little point guard, that guy you said was only about 6 feet tall, and that we can't set our bar too high because he can only do so much.
It's a hamstring.
He is igniting this basketball team. When he shoots those 3-point shots, he shoots them with such conviction that when they leave his hand, I say, that's going in. And they usually do. Last night, he made, what, 3 out of 4 threes? Yep, 3 out of 4 for Chris Paul last night. When he shoots free throws, the late gamers that are crucial against my Spurs, they leave his hands and I say, that's good. Because he shoots it with conviction like this is his time. He has come of age. It's been a long, he's 29 years of age. We didn't know if he's Chris Paul or Cliff Paul sometimes. Some nights I wasn't sure if he's Cliff or Chris. This is special stuff. And because of him and the team, Blake Griffin's just taken it up. I think you weren't on the other day when I made this point to maybe Chauncey. In my career, I have never, I made it to Chris.
Yeah, you said to Chris.
Yeah. In my career, I have never seen a player improve as much as Blake Griffin has over the last 3 years. He came into this league, he couldn't make free throws, and he couldn't make a shot beyond 3 feet. Now he's getting automatic, shooting glass shots. Listen, and we know what he can do athletically, and his effort is off the charts. He just out-scraps people for loose balls, time and time again.
Blake Griffin has elevated himself to superstar status.
Yeah.
But I still have one holdout with him. His ultimate nemesis, the guy who instigated and provoked all of the cynicism about him, may very well be the guy waiting for him in the Western Conference Finals in Zach Randolph. You know, it's real nice because you see, I see guys getting physical with him, trying to punk Blake Griffin. He ain't backing down. All that stuff that was said about him before, that can't be said about him now. That can't be said about him now. But none of those dudes are Zach Randolph. Now, Zach Randolph can't mess with Blake Griffin's athleticism, not in any day of the week. But when you're down there with the big boys and elbows and shoulders and the beef is all over you, well, now we're going to find out. Because remember, Zach knows he can't jump with Blake Griffin. So he's going to try to keep him grounded. And Blake Griffin, I mean, he's going to test him now. So all I'm saying is that I believe in Blake Griffin. I believe in his skill. I think he's a high-end professional. I think he's a great ambassador for the game. I love what I'm seeing. Give Austin Rivers a lot of credit the way he's been playing, because that has helped Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul has done. Austin Rivers has been phenomenal, and Doc Rivers deserves a lot of credit when people were blasting him for bringing his son on board. And he told me face to face. Remember, I told you that. He said, "I don't give a damn," and that ain't the words you use. All right, but he's like, "Look, please, this is my son. I believe in him, and I'm gonna give him the opportunity, and we're gonna prove those folks wrong." And he's been right. Okay, now that still brings us back to Blake Griffin. Now, I want to see Blake Griffin and the Clippers against Golden State. That's what I'd love to see. The flip side, however, is Memphis obviously is going to have something to say about that. And nobody is walking over Memphis. So Blake Griffin, all of his troubles is because of Zach Randolph. And if Zach Randolph and the Grizzlies meet them in the Western Conference Finals.
I got to tell you, what's killing me about the points you're making, and I do agree with it, Zach Randolph has one nemesis in the National Basketball League. Tiago Splitter. Trust me.
Both of them.
Trust me.
I'm just talking about
Zach just shrinks.
But I remember
they swept him last
I totally agree, but I remember there were so many times I saw Duncan on him. He couldn't do anything with Duncan because Duncan just knows he's so smart. It's both of them, but I'm just saying, I keep mentioning Duncan because Duncan straight up at age 38 was defending this guy. I'm just telling you, that's his number.
They're not in it. They just needed one shot.
All these players are not the same without the Spurs.
I'm just telling you, man.
All right.
Zach Randolph.
Okay.
A Hall of Famer can't get a call.
All right.
You said the Clippers are obviously going to win the series. Depends on how they want to extend it. So do you think that Game 5 in Houston?
I don't know. I can't tell you what mood the Clippers are going to be in. I know it ain't going past 6.
Okay.
It's just a matter because look, they get so hyped. At the Staples Center.
You just want to go back for Game 6.
No, I'm not going back for Game 6.
Oh, good.
Oh, no. I'm not going back for Game 6.
Good.
If Golden State loses tonight, I'm going to Memphis. I want to be in Memphis.
Going to Memphis?
Memphis Tennessee. Hey, man, it ain't just Elvis, baby. It's me, too.
So Clippers are now the favorites to win the title, according to the Basketball Power Index.
Welcome to the jailhouse, right?
I don't. Can we afford that music?
I didn't think you even
knew.
Buzzer beaters for everyone this weekend. Derrick Rose gets one. Paul Pierce gets one. LeBron gets one. Remember?
Let's rock.
You get a car, you get a car, you get a buzzer.
Everybody, let's rock.
We discuss LeBron's shot after the break. We'll be right back.